Hi, it's Jennifer. Thanks for joining me here at My Little Pretty Crafts YouTube channel. Today we're going to be continuing our series with the Adventure Awaits stamp set from Stampin' Up. I have a really cool modern card that would be great for somebody who would like a little inspiration or who's starting out on a new journey. Keep your curiosity fresh. Love the stamp set and I love this card. So don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a video, and let's go ahead and get started. So here is our card for today. I love this stamp set. It is the Adventure Awaits stamp set, and when I saw this I knew I just had to have it. This is one of those stamp sets that I knew I just had to have, but I really wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. I think it was intended to go stamp on photographs and project life and things like that, which I don't really do, but I just love the sentiments and I love that they're sort of big and bold, and so I've been challenging myself to make some cards out of them. So this card I think would be great for a graduation or somebody who got a new job, or you know, anytime you want to give somebody a little bit of an encouragement. And it was really quick and easy to make. So what we're going to do is start with our card base, which is a Whisper White note card. And I'm sorry about some of the shadows that we're getting here. It's a little bit dark as I'm filming, and so hopefully they won't be too distracting. Anyway, back to the card. So we have this Whisper White card base. I like these because they are a little bit thicker, heavier weight, and can stand up to some layers, which is really, really nice. So I have a piece of the, I think this is called Back to Black or Basic Black, DSP. Really, really cool patterns, very geometric, and what I like about them is that you don't have to use them just as black and white. What we're going to do is do a little bit of coloring on some of the images to give it a little bit more pop. And so there's really, when I started out this card, I thought that I would do kind of an even pattern, but actually I really ended up liking, after I messed up on the sample and didn't stay on the pattern, I really like the way that it turned out, and I think that it goes along with the sentiment of keeping curiosity fresh. So what you're going to do is take a marker. You could use a blendability or an alcohol marker for this. I'm just using the regular water-based marker. I think the alcohol marker would probably give you a little bit more even coverage, and you're just going to start coloring. No rhyme or reason, just whatever looks good for you. I think it's nice to group together some of the colored parts of the pattern here. And we'll just continue coloring across the front of the card. Cover it up, but so as you can see, I've colored, again, some random parts of the pattern with my marker, and we can go ahead and set that aside for now as we work on our focal point here. So I've already pre-cut some circles. I used my Big Shot and some circle dies. I didn't use Stampin' Up ones. These are ones that I got with another die cutting machine quite a while ago, but these measure about 3.5 inches in diameter and just shy of 4, and so you'll see that they nest really nicely. So they're just two compatible sizes. Now, if you don't have circle dies, you could change it up, use an oval, use a different shape, but I like the look of the circle. So we will take our Bermuda base circle, and I'll prep that with my EK Success powder tool because we're going to be doing some heat embossing here. You could use the embossing buddy as well. This will just help the embossing powder stick only to the Versamark ink and not anywhere else, or at least minimize the amount of embossing powder that gets stuck where you don't want it to. Now I'm going to be using the stamp press here because I feel like it gives me really nice even coverage. If you don't have a stamp press, that's okay. You can also use this Stampin' Pierce mat. I think that works just as well. In fact, I think I'll use them together. And now you just want to center your sentiment right on the circle. You could also stamp the sentiment and then use your circle die to cut it out. That's what I did on the sample, and I think that works just as well. Okay, and now we'll bring in the embossing powder. I keep mine in these little sandwich containers. Makes it really easy to apply and catch all of the excess here. and we'll go ahead and heat it up with the heat tool. I like to let my heat tool run for just a second or two to get it really hot. It helps to minimize the warping of the cardstock. You can also heat, especially on these larger sentiments or larger images that you're heat embossing, I like to heat it from the bottom first and then go to the top and heat it. Again, it helps minimize with the warping, and you can, excuse me, see we still have a little bit, but that's okay because we're going to be adhering it straight on down to our white panel here. So I'm going to use some Tombow. This will allow me to have some wiggle room, some play before the glue gets totally set, in case I want to move my image around. So I like to, you could adhere this straight down and nest it nicely. I kind of liked the look of the off-center circle there. And you can lay a block right on top just while it's drying. So let's go ahead and adhere our panel to our card base. Since I have the Tombow out, I'll use that. You could also use a dry adhesive. And now we can take a look at where we'd like to place our sentiment. Now I will tell you, when I first made this card, I actually adhered the circle to the panel here and then trimmed it off. I just forgot to do that this time. That's okay. I think it will still work, and it'll actually give us a little bit of a different look because the edges of the circle will run all the way to the end of the panel, which I think gives you kind of a different look and, you know, just as good. So let's go ahead and adhere this down, and then we'll trim off any overhang that we don't want. See, you can see that nothing is ever perfect in crafting. We just kind of have to roll with it, and that is okay. All right, so I liked my sentiment to be, my focal point to be a little bit off center. Again, kind of keeping with the Curiosity Fresh. It's kind of a whimsical sentiment, and so we don't have too much overhang on the back there. It looks like I got a little ink on the back. Again, that's okay. These cards are handmade and people will like them because you put your time and effort into them. If they wanted a perfect card, they'd go to Papyrus and spend, you know, $17 on a card. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and trim off any overhang. Just like that. And then we have just a teeny bit up here on the top, and I just want to be careful that I don't cut into the fold of the card. All right. So again, a little bit different process than I used with my sample, but I think both cards look great. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that you'll subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a video. Give me a big thumbs up if you like what you see and you want to see more, and I will catch you guys next time.